Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and today we are talking about Foamstars. And god damn it, Square Enix, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, so Foamstars is the latest game from Square Enix, coming out just a few weeks, before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the game we actually care about. And Foamstars is the game that people have largely been calling, hey, what if Splatoon was made in Unreal Engine and was anime-fied? What if we took Overwatch and freaking Splatoon and went, now kiss? And that is not quite accurate, but it's going to be the oversimplification that people give to Foamstars all the time. That said, there's some problems that exist with Foamstars, and it's mostly because of the way that Square Enix goes about some of their business, which, I mean, hopefully will change. Hopefully it'll change. They got a new CEO, and the new CEO has said some things that could be seen as a positive or negative. We'll talk about those after we check out the trailers for Foamstars, because they do kind of, they are kind of relevant to like the type of release that Foamstars is. So, without further ado, let's get started. Jumping back to the announced trailer, back from when? May of 2023. I remember watching this. What was it? It was like a state of play or something. I was like, Square Enix? Oh, and then I was like, it's a gun. What are we doing? Square Enix, what'd you make? And then I was cute anime girl, okay. And then we were all very confused.
Okay, it's a showtime!
And then we were more confused. And then this started. Weird, wild, crazy bubble foam. The foam creates terrain. We're covering the ground like it's Splatoon and shooting one another, and we got special anime powers and crazy abilities and crazy sea foam pillars coming down from the sky. We got Rumbleverse up in here with people doing dive bombs off the top shelf. What is going on?
Ready for the Foamstar party?
Foamstars. So yeah, that was the initial announcement trailer, and then we'll move to the CG announcement trailer in June. Is this? This is just that same trailer, but with the gameplay taken out. Yes. Well, that's slightly different.
Ready?
Okay, so it was slightly different. It had an extra scene in it. So here's the open beta announcement trailer. This was also from September. Also,
hey, Vegas, having a great time? I hope you're all
also a better view of the game.
The Foamtastic 4 vs 4 party.
Spiky beats!
Use foam and knock out the opposition. 2 insanely fun game modes. Smash the star. Defeat the star player to win. Happy Bath Survival. Dominate the arena in teams of 2 with support from your allies on the outside.
I just realized something that this made me think of, and it's not a positive.
Characters hit the stage. Soa, Agito, Tonix, Jet Justice, Melty, the Baristador,
What?
Raid Breaker, Penguin.
Crush on you!
We'll see you at the Foamstars Open Beta Party.
I wasn't able to play that for one reason or another. I don't remember why. Here's the release date announcement trailer from January 16th. I saw a platypus. Shoot foam, build up foam, slide on foam, chill with foam. Bath Vegas. One of the game modes is called Rubber Duck Party. Damn, it's amazing. I really hope that song that keeps playing isn't copyright, because it feels like it could be, and that would just be like bad for me. Whatever, it's fine, whatever. All right, here's the final preview. This is done by IGN. Depending on what they say, I will add to it. I don't normally watch IGN's previews for these reactions, but there's so little that Square Enix has put out in terms of marketing for this game, and there's a reason why. And we'll see what IGN has to say about it, and then we'll follow up from there. So this is the final preview from IGN. This just came out on the 16th, so about 2 weeks ago.
Last week I danced on top of a giant rubber duck DJ. No, I'm not back on the mushrooms. I was playing Foamstars, which is a similarly colourful and fun trip.
Bro just said that.
Square Enix's bubble-packed team-based shooter is bursting with character and style, while frequently managing to maintain a tense competitive edge. While not all of its launch modes hit home for me, I found myself pleasantly surprised at just how much fun I was having after 4 hours of hands-on time. Foamstars will launch with multiple modes available, of which most are centered on multiplayer. The one exception is Foamstars' PvE offering, which is playable in both solo and co-op, and consists of fighting against waves of randomized enemies to achieve the highest score. While I only played one of these missions once, I can't see it being where many will sink their time into. Instead, the meat of this shooter is found in its 3 PvP modes. Smash the Star is presented as Foamstars' signature mode, where 2 teams of 4 battle it out deathmatch style until they reach 7 eliminations, at which point an opponent's star player is crowned. This player is buffed with increased health and damage output, making them formidable on the bubble field. But once a star player is taken down, the match is over.
The bubble field?
It's a genuinely fun time, and when teams are balanced, it can get really tense, as fights go down to the wire and the risk-reward nature of attacking your opponent and defending your star player comes to the fore. First impressions may be to dismiss Foamstars as a Splatoon clone, but after playing it I found its hero shooter DNA became much more apparent. Yes, painting the floor with your team's foam colour aids movement, enabling you to surf along the perpetually changing floor with ease, but points aren't awarded for how much territory you occupy. While I had fun with Smash the Star, my favourite mode without a doubt is Rubber Duck Party. Teams of 4 battle it out to capture a wildly oversized rubber duck and escort it as far as they can towards the other team's spawn point. It's essentially Overwatch 2's push mode, and its objective-based focus spoke to those Overwatch sensibilities within me. That isn't all though. The duck is also a DJ, and if you climb on top of his shiny yellow head and manage to dance for a few seconds without being foamed up, it shoots forward at speed, pushing you further towards your team's destination.
Fun.
It's a nice little touch that once again encourages team play and smart team compositions, as you look to defend the giant duck and his tiny dancer. These two modes were easily the highlight of my time with Foamstars, and came in stark contrast to the third multiplayer mode, Happy Bath Survival, which fails to offer the same level of tension or team play. Half of each team is stripped of their hero abilities and must assist the other two players with basic weaponry alone by painting the floor for them in what is a relatively dull arena shootout. It's disappointing because it sidelines the characters for stretches of time, as their usually tide-turning abilities can be combined to devastating effect in both Smash the Star and Rubber Duck Party. Each of the 8 heroes is equipped with their own weapon type, abilities, and superstar skills. My favourite is the speedy Agito, who allowed me to dive under the foam, sneak around the back, and then erupt above the enemy in a shower of bubbles before finishing up with a shotgun full of foam. They're a great flanking option with a powerful superstar skill that unleashes a homing shark that explodes upon impact.
Number 1!
Others I had fun with included Mel T, who, despite sounding like a long-lost member of the Spice Girls, is in fact an ice cream-loving young lady who deals big damage thanks to explosive skills and a rocket-propelled foam cannon. In truth, I had a good time with all 8 of the characters, and can see where each will hold their value in different game modes, especially when teamed up with other heroes that offer synergistic opportunities. There's a level of charm to each too, which carries over into the maps themselves. Each showcases a different part of Bath Vegas, and is visually distinct from one another, and crucially, is well constructed with gameplay first in mind. They offer interesting architecture and varying levels of verticality, as well as obstacles such as the giant roaming roulette ball found circling Foamiopatra's crazy wheel. In a time when so many shooters are militarized in their presentation and seemingly afraid to embrace color, it's welcoming to be barraged by it at every turn in Foamstars, which successfully marries Nintendo's charm with the panache of Persona. The same can be said for the soundtrack, which delivers track after track of catchy tunes that wouldn't sound out of place in an Atlas RPG. I enjoyed my time with Foamstars then, and hope you will too, but I just can't help but fear for its long-term appeal due to the recent fate many live service games have met. Both free and premium season battle passes will be available throughout the first year of Foamstars' life, with new cosmetics, characters, maps, and modes promised, but all of which are a mystery at this point. It's free at launch on PlayStation Plus, which will definitely give it an initial boost with millions of PlayStation players being able to download it for free. It's a strategy the likes of Rocket League and Fall Guys enjoyed great success with, but it didn't have the same effect on Destruction All-Stars, a game I reviewed and thought was a fun enough time, but sadly one that didn't take off. I just hope that Foamstars doesn't suffer a similar fate and finds its audience, as it's shaping up to be a genuinely fun and family-friendly hero shooter. For more from Foamstars, why not check out the
So he did touch on the thing that I wanted to talk about, which was, so one, Foamstars is exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, okay? And that's kind of a problem because, one, shooter games do really well on PC. A lot of people like using one of these to aim instead of, you know, one of these. And when it comes to that, like, the thing is that Square Enix is so bad about getting their games on other platforms. Like, they're massive Sony ponies, and that's largely okay because a lot of their games do pretty well on PlayStation. But that cannot be said for any live service game, any live service game that Final Fantasy 14, any live service game that Square Enix has made. The only exception to that, sort of, is Final Fantasy 14. But Final Fantasy 14 failed initially, and then Yoshi P managed to bring it back around. So I don't know if that technically counts, but all of their other live service games, no. And like, a lot about this reminds me so much of when Final Fantasy Dissidia NT came out, and it was like, that game's gonna be fucking sick, and I was really excited for Dissidia NT, and Dissidia NT did not do well because you know what happened? Square Enix didn't support it. And Square Enix is really bad at supporting their games in like general, like at all, because like the thing was they're talking about this really cool objective-based game mode, the rubber duck game in there, right? And there was a really cool objective-based game mode in Dissidia NT that was really awesome. And you know what you couldn't do? You couldn't play it online. You couldn't matchmake into it. And it was really good. And everyone told them, like, you guys should really put this in this defend the core mode or whatever the fuck it's called as part of online matchmaking, because it gives characters balance beyond just strictly who can kill the other characters faster. Because what you had to do was in Dissidia NT, which was a 3D fighting game, like a fast-paced, big arena fighting game, which was 3v3. What would happen is that, or 1v1, but one of the things that mode did is that you would have to have your team split up to defend and attack, and that gave characters that were more defensive style characters an advantage of, I'm better on defense than I am attack, but that game mode never got support to where you could queue into it online. And Dissidia NT largely just slowly died out because Square Enix was like, we're not going to support this. How are we supposed to make extra money off of this? We didn't want to make it anyway. And like we've seen the same problems with like Babylon's Fall and a bunch of other Square Enix games, like especially like their phone games. God damn, Square Enix. Fucking First Soldier shut down after like a year. The only one of their gacha games that's still going is Brave Exvius and War of the Lions, I think, but it's not, it's War of the Lions something or other, but like Opera Omnia's is either shutting down or is already shut down. Record Keeper shut down. Mobius shut down. Like they just Square Enix is fucking terrible at this. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis is still going right now, but I don't know how much hope I have for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis sticking around long enough for it to see a near completed state, because it is one of the most disgusting, ugly, microtransaction, predatory video games I have ever seen. It's worse than anything that MiHoYo has put out in the form of Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Honkai 3rd. It's going to be worse than Zenless Zone Zero. I have played a lot of mobile trash, and let me tell you what, Ever Crisis is the worst. It's worse than Fate Grand Order. It's worse than Azur Lane. It's worse than Arknights. It's worse than Girls Frontline. It is the fucking worst. And not that Foamstars is the worst, but the problem that Foamstars has is it's only on PlayStation 4 and 5. It's $30, but it's not $30 because it's an online game, so the only way you can play it online on PlayStation is to have PlayStation Plus, and if you have PlayStation Plus, you get this game for free, which is kind of what Fall Guys did, and it worked for Fall Guys, but Fall Guys was a party game, and I don't see Foamstars having that same success. I think it might have a better chance if it was on more systems. If it was on PC, for sure, I think it would have a better chance. But I just don't see Square Enix giving a shit about this game in like 3 to 6 months, and then I feel like in 3 to 6 months, we're going to see an announcement that the Foamstar servers are going to go offline 3 to 6 months after that, and it's going to be to the surprise of absolutely no one, and it's going to be very, very unfortunate. The other reason that I think that is because Square Enix recently got a new CEO. Thank God. Thank you, Kiryu, for being here. He's much more in the know. He's still very, very money focused, which I understand. That's like the CEO's job, is to like make money for the company. But he's thankfully not nearly as obsessed. He still has interest in blockchain and NFTs and stuff, but he is not just pushing like Web3 applications every opportunity and not selling some of your most valuable IPs to Embracer Group for a song and a dance. But regardless of that, they did say recently, like, you know, we need to stop doing these smaller projects because they're just not finding the success, and we need to focus on our core franchises that make the most money and just really put time into those. And for Square Enix, that's going to be projects, things like Final Fantasy, things like Dragon Quest, things like Kingdom Hearts, things that they can get a larger return from, that they get a lot more attention for, because Square Enix recently has put out so many random ass, like they feel like indie games, but they're not titles. We're talking about things like Triangle Strategy and the Diofield Chronicles and freaking, God, there's more, and I can't remember them because they all look and feel exactly the same. They all are, like, Bravely Default is one of the better ones of them, but Bravely Default's in that same. Various Day Life, that's another one. They all look the same because they all got the same freaking logo. It is just Times New Roman in white, and it's underlined. And they put out like 8 of those games in the last like 4 years, and they all did mid as fuck. And like, it's like, Square Enix, why the fuck are you making these? Like, make one of these better and promote it better if you're wanting to launch a new IP. Because you know what? If you made one better, you would see larger interest in these types of titles. You want to know a very similar title to like Diofield Chronicles? It's called Unicorn Overlord, and it comes out this year, comes out in like March, I think, and that game looks freaking awesome. And it was just shown off a few months ago, and everyone's excited for shit about that game because that game looks good. And Square Enix hasn't managed to make one of these lower budget titles that looks good. The Atlas team is making Metaphor ReFantazio. That game looks freaking sick as well. A brand new IP from the Atlas team. It's not Persona. It has a big Persona vibe, but it's not Persona. And it's like, Square Enix, if you want the success, it's not that hard to do. You just do it. Just stop trying to find cheap cash outs. And I feel like Foamstars is a game that probably could have had a much better chance than it does, but it's Square Enix. And so I don't think that this game lives more than a year, maybe 18 months, if it finds some meager success. But so yeah, that's Foamstars. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you. It is Overwatch mixed with Splatoon. Looks pretty cool. It actually looks like fun. I've heard that it is a lot of fun, but it's Square Enix. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you. Put your thoughts down in the comments below or catch up with us on social media. We are active on Twitter and Threads and Blue Sky and Instagram, and we have a Discord. Links to everything down in the description below. Additionally, we record these videos live. So if you'd like to join us live on Twitch, I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you go to one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.